procrastination. We're going to talk about what is procrastination. We're going to talk about how you can overcome it. And today specifically, we have an expert all the way from Thailand who's going to talk to us all about procrastination. And he actually specializes in this topic. And he helps people such as business owners and entrepreneurs to overcome procrastination. And his name is Simon Goldwhite. Now, Simon is an entrepreneur and a business owner with a background of sales and team management. So we've got some things in common here, Simon. He helps people get on track with what they love to do by stopping procrastination and leveraging their teams to get more done. Simon, it is a pleasure to have you on here, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you here. And when I think of procrastination, I think of having something that I need to get done, having something that I know I should do, whether it's a big project or something with my business or something with the company I work for. And it's like, I know that I could be doing something, Simon, but there's like this voice in my head that says, hey, you can put this off. You don't need to worry about this right now. You know, you still got a week before that thing is coming up. You've got plenty of time. And then days go by and that thing is finally coming up. And I'm thinking to myself, I still have to prepare for this. I still have to practice my material. And those thoughts of worry and nervousness and fear creep in, and I cram everything into the little time that I have. And I do a good job sometimes, but other times I think to myself, I could have been more prepared. So I wanted to talk to you, Simon, and bring you on here because I know everybody struggles with procrastination in some degree or form. And I would like to hear from you, you know, what are some strategies and tips that people can use to overcome it and avoid the situation I just described? But first, I want to ask you, what even is procrastination?
So that's a very good question. And so what you described, this is one form of procrastination. It's like Tomorrowland, where, you know, you're going to accomplish those tasks and you're going to be doing those things tomorrow, sometime in the future when you feel like it, when you have more energy, when it's convenient. And that's one form of procrastination, and it can be a very serious problem for business owners, for just people who are, you know, working every day in their job, trying to improve themselves, trying to learn, trying to set up a business, make more money, whatever your goal is. That's a problem. Another thing that is also procrastination is long-term, like big things. You have like a big dream, an amazing business idea, something that you want to do, and you put it off and you put it in the back of your mind, or you don't think about it. Meanwhile, you're doing things that you're not happy with, you're not content with. Maybe it's your job, maybe you're not fully aligned with your business. I know that happened to me. And you just stay where you are because it's convenient, because you don't know what else to do. Maybe like fear is grasping you and keeping you in place. So that's another form of procrastination that that's actually one of the main things that I deal with and tackle with usually. Yeah.
So this whole idea of fear keeping us where we are, fear of expanding who we are, and fear of really getting things done. Why do you think that exists? Why do you think that we innately procrastinate? Where do you think it comes from, in your opinion?
Well, so specifically fear, that's usually, not always, but usually procrastination, like the root cause of this, it might be a bit counterintuitive, is trauma and some issues that you have with yourself, that you don't believe in yourself. You think that maybe you're not good enough in the back of your mind, and you worry what other people may think, or some reason, like you find an excuse, but the source of it is your lack of self-esteem, your insecurities, and that's the main thing that if you experience this, you should be tackling.
Okay. I love that. And I want to take that word that you just used at the end, tackling it. And I think a lot of people watching this right now are asking themselves, okay, so it's great to know what procrastination is, but they're here because they want to know how they can overcome it, right? They're thinking in their mind, like, this is me. Like, I need something that I can use, like, tangibly in order to overcome my procrastination. So, Simon, let's just get right to it. How would you say that someone listening can overcome procrastination in their own life? What is something that they can actually do?
Well, I think probably the number one most effective thing, if I had to give one thing, maybe I'll give a few others, is clearly writing your goals down, the things that you want in detail, so that you know exactly what it is that you expect from yourself. What are the most important things for you? You prioritize, and you just keep awareness in this area. Because if you, for example, know that something, your goal is really important to you, and at the end of the day, you come home and you see that you have not even taken one little step towards this goal, then you can then start to ask yourself, okay, how come? Why? What's stopping me? And become aware. And then once you know what the problem is, the next step is actually coming up with some answer, some solution to whatever you come up with.
Okay. So you're saying one big way that we can overcome procrastination is to write down our objective, write down what we want. Because if we write it down, it becomes real in the sense that it reminds us what we need to do, which brings awareness to us that we can be doing something right now in order to make steps towards what we're looking to do.
Absolutely. So yeah, writing down, getting the awareness, getting the details down, it's really important for us to even to master motivation. If the human mind works in this way where you need the details, you need to kind of plan something ahead. And once you have this vision, this picture, then you just take action way more easily.
I like that. So you get this picture in your mind, not even of like what you have to do, but it's even like a picture of the outcome that you want.
Absolutely. The end goal. Yeah.
So if someone had a goal of they want to weigh a certain amount of weight, where like most people say they want to lose weight, right? They want to go from where they are to a healthier weight or a weight that they feel that they would look better at, more energy, etc. They would first write down exactly what their goal was. So they wanted to weigh a certain amount of weight. They would be reminded of this goal more and more often so that it kind of plants a seed in their mind of what they need to do in order to get there. And then they should have a goal in their mind, a picture of maybe how they'll look once they reach that weight. They'll have a picture of even how they feel at that point.
So yeah, when I'm making goals with clients, the first thing that we do is we write down the goal with the date. So there's a mental deadline. Okay, I'm going to reach this goal. So for example, I want to weigh a certain weight. And then we in detail bring out everything, all the reasons why you want to achieve this goal. How are you going to feel? How confident are you going to be? What are you going to do once you achieve your goal? All those things are really, really important for mastering motivation. Because if you don't have this why, this mental picture, and you wake up in the morning and it's 5 a.m. and it's time to go jogging, or however you decided to lose weight or to go about achieving your goal, if it's difficult and you need that push initially so that you can turn this behavior into a habit and get consistent results. That's the next step. You do it again and again and again, make it into a habit, and then you reach your goal. It's just that if you make the behavior that will, create whatever you're after a habit and consistently do it, you will get the result 100% at the end.
I like how you say that you have to do the first part for a bit of time before the second part comes, right? I think that a lot of times we are looking for the quick fix. Like we have a goal to lose weight, but we're like, okay, well, this should start happening immediately. We go to the gym, we don't see a result. We get on the scale, we actually weigh more, and we're like, oh my God, this isn't working. So we wake up the next morning and it's 5 a.m., like you just said, and we're about to go outside, and we say to ourselves, it's kind of cold out. It's raining. Maybe I'll just wait until tomorrow, like you said with Tomorrowland earlier. And I really think it's important to stress on the fact of what you just said. You have to do it for a bit of time before this becomes automatic, before this becomes habitualized in your everyday routine. And once it becomes automatic, then it's just kind of like it's on autopilot in a way. It's just you're doing it. It's become a part of your life. It's become a ritual that you practice. So based on what you've seen while working with your clients, how long does it generally take once you implement a new habit like this into your life until it becomes automatic? How long does that process generally take?
Well, I think that differs from case to case. Science says it takes 1 month, 3 months, maybe. It's something like that. But there are a lot of factors. If you get this clarity, you create these goals the right way from the beginning, and you have realistic expectations that it's not, there might be a little, downfall, and you might slide a little bit, and you expect that, and you are okay with it, then it's easy. Like, the more you punish yourself for not achieving your goals, the harder it's going to be to make it an automatic habit, like you said.
Absolutely. I love that. And I want to come back to this afterwards and ask you for a couple more tips, even maybe even just one more powerful tip on how people can overcome procrastination. But before we do that, why not give the viewers a little background of yourself? How is it that you have begun to help people do what they love with no limits? How is it that you got into this procrastination space where you help business owners and entrepreneurs? How did you find yourself in this world?
Okay, awesome. Thank you for asking. So actually, I had a lot of problems in my life. It's an understatement. And I was procrastinating constantly. I had pretty severe PTSD, and I used to wake up like maybe 4 or 5 days a week with severe brain fog. I didn't know where I am. I almost bedridden with very low energy. And this really immense pain has brought me on this path of self-development to learn about myself, how my brain operates, how can I fix myself, how can I achieve the goals despite all these limitations that I have been experiencing. And there was really no other way around it, because there's not exactly people teaching exactly what you need out there. You can hire a coach for something specific. If they have achieved that goal, they might be able to help you. But I didn't have that, and growing up, I didn't have the resources always to do this until later in my life to hire these professionals who know way more than me. So basically, I had to really dive in and consume books, videos, all the information I could, looking for answers, because I didn't even realize that I had a problem. I just, knew that something was wrong. Eventually, this led me to become a coach, to become a certified coach in corporate coaching, and then in NLP and life coaching. And after that, I just left my job, and I started to do the things that are making me happy, that are teaching me as I go, that are giving me these amazing experiences that I really appreciate, and that are interesting for me. So yeah.
That is fascinating. What a journey that you've been on, man. That's unbelievable. Being bedridden, PTSD, no energy, to now talking to other people and helping other people to overcome exactly what you've gone through yourself. What was like the big catalyst for change for you? Like, what was the moment you said to yourself, I have to do something? And what exactly pulled you in order to help you begin taking action towards what you do now? Because I think it goes right along the same line with what we're talking to our audience with right now about how to overcome procrastination. What was the catalyst of change for you?
Well, I think the first major catalyst I had, I read a book about relationships, about making friends and all of that. And I used to be really shy and really not good with people at all. Um, and once I read this book, it blew my mind that it's even possible to learn these kinds of things, because I think most people, they just accept what hands are dealt to them when they are born. You know, they grow up and they think, okay, so I'm good with people. I'm not. I can sell. I can't. I can be an artist. I can't. Whatever it is. So people just accept. And I was one of them. And then I saw, wait, I could actually learn how to get people to like me, how to influence, how to sell, how to be popular, even have a lot of friends, and so that got me on this path to just learning everything.
That is incredible, because I completely agree with most people that I talk with. They say, like what you just said, well, I'm not good at this, therefore I won't do that. Or I'm not good at this, therefore I can't do that. Like, I grew up in the sales world, which is, I feel that we have in common. And in the sales world, I remember talking to some of my friends, trying to get them to come along for the ride, because you can make incredible money from sales. And a lot of people, most people, were like, oh, sales? No, I can't do that. And I'm like, oh, well, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, I'm not a salesperson. There's no way that I can do that. And it just says to me, okay, well, number one, they could easily learn how to sell, because they're selling every single day of their life and every single conversation. Like right now, me and you are selling right now. We're selling to those watching, to give them information that we hope they latch onto. And our ability to sell that information will determine their ability in actually implementing and using that information. So we're selling every single day, and we're doing things every single day that we might not necessarily be the strongest in. But whether you're good at something right now or not, there's nothing that says that you cannot become great at something. I spoke to somebody the other day who wanted to do something different with their life. So they took up guitar, and they're in their 50s. And now this guy that I met is playing, like, I don't know if you know Pink Floyd, but he's riffing through all the Pink Floyd solos. This guy's like playing all the 80s hair metal. Like, he's in it because he slots away time every single day in order to practice. And that's something that's helped me with procrastination. I put everything in my calendar. Like, if there's something that I know that needs to get done or that I should do, if it's so important, then I put it in my calendar, because once it flashes up on my phone screen, it says, do this. And it's like, if I don't do that, then it's kind of like, it's pain. It's pain that I'm inflicting on myself by not doing what I know I should do. And putting it in my calendar has made it real. And when something's in my calendar and when it pops up on me, I know it's important, and I know that I need to take steps in order to do it. Now, there was a question that came through, and it says, I have difficulties in following a timetable for my day. When I achieve a goal, I lose the motivation to fulfill the whole routine. So let me ask you this, Simon, because you're a pro with this. Somebody who has difficulty in following a timetable for their day, what is something that someone like that can do in order to find a solution to that problem?
So it could happen for a number of reasons. If somebody is scheduling something, like you say, they're making it real, they're taking the time maybe to plan, but they're still not getting it done, they're still procrastinating. Maybe it's motivation. Maybe they need to get really clear on why they are just doing what they're doing, because maybe they don't like what they're doing. Maybe they they don't have energy. Maybe they get drained throughout the day doing things that they don't like. And then by the end of the day, they have a few tasks to do, but they just are exhausted. So I don't exactly know why. I would need a little bit more information.
Well said. I completely agree with that. Spot on. Let's talk about this concept of, we know we should do something such as work out or complete work while we're home or work on our business because we're passionate about something. We know we should do something. But then we say to ourselves, oh, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to work out. It'd be great to get in shape. It'd be great to have more energy, but I've got a family. I've got kids. I've got a full-time job. How in the heck could I find time to work out and add something else to my schedule? I don't have time to do that. So let me ask you this concept of not having enough time, where does that come from? And what can we do in order to overcome this limiting language that we use on a daily basis?
Okay. So let's split that up into two things. Okay. So first of all, people who don't have time, they often do have time, and they are exhausted and drained, and they spend all day worrying, and they spend their day like eating bad foods, or maybe complaining, being negative, judging themselves. All those things consume a lot of willpower. And the result of that is that you have to take a break. Like every hour of work, you have to watch TV half an hour. At the end of the day, you crash, and then you don't have those extra hours because you're tired. And you just have to incorporate a few things. You have to understand the source. Like, you wake up in the morning with a finite amount of willpower. This has been proven by science. And during the day, all the things that you don't like to do, that you're forcing yourselves, that are not habits, they are draining that. So if you get a handle on that, you can easily create more time, and you can, instead of watch this, enjoy TV whenever you want to. That's okay, no problem with that. But if you really have a goal that you want to achieve, and you're exhausting yourself, you can free up some amount of time that you're consuming from yourself. And another thing is, like, for example, if you gave an example of somebody who wants to work out, but they can't because they have a family, a job, all of that. So, if you are demanding that you work out 5 hours a week, every, like, 5 days a week, 1 hour, 2 hours workouts, or nothing, this black or white thinking, then it's going to be difficult for you. You can start with a 5-minute workout. It's better than nothing. Take a small step, start with something, improve on it, make it 6 minutes after 2 weeks. Do something. It doesn't have to be or this or that. You can take these small steps, and they would make you feel a lot better. It's healthy also in this case to work out even 5 minutes a day. And just don't go to these extremes, or this or nothing.
Simon, you're dropping gold right now. I hope you guys are taking notes. I'm taking notes. You probably see my pen moving here. Absolutely love that. And I want to dissect a little bit about what you just said, because it's so powerful. And I think that if everyone listening right now just took one thing away from what Simon just said, understand that you have a finite amount of willpower every single day. And when you wake up in the morning, the willpower is strongest, right? But what do a lot of people do when they wake up in the morning? They're checking their phone, willpower down. They're spending 20 minutes choosing what clothes they want to wear, willpower down. They're spending 10 more minutes deciding what makeup look they want, willpower down, right? Maybe if it's a guy, they're choosing what watch they want to wear, willpower. By the time you leave the house, your willpower has waned by 10 to 20%, maybe even more, right? It's very wise, like what you just said, to schedule things in That way, once they are a part of your routine, once you ritualize certain activities that you know that you should do and have a good reason why you want to do, going back to what we talked about earlier, once those things are in your routine, it's going to take up less of your willpower because it's not a surprise. It wasn't just thrown in there. And especially with what you just said with starting small, I know so many people, man, who say that they want to earn more money and they start going crazy trying to create a side hustle. They go in on it because they hear like take massive action, take massive action. But because they went all in all of a sudden and they had a major shock to their body, they had a major shock to everything they're learning, they stop and they give up because they burned out immediately. Same thing with working out, same thing with eating healthy, same thing with building a relationship. Start small. Just like what you said, 5 minutes of a workout can mean a world of a difference for somebody who hasn't been working out at all. That's huge, man. Let me ask you this, Simon, because you've got a lot of gold, and I know we haven't even scraped the surface here. What is one more thing that somebody can do in order to overcome procrastination towards something that they want to get done in their life right now? What's another actionable piece of advice that you might have for those watching?
Well, whatever it is that you want to achieve, you have to kind of make it part of your identity, of your personality, and then things get easier. So, for example, an athlete, he has no problem working out 5-6 hours every single day of his life, like a year, for months during training season, right? That's just part of their identity. It's who they are. So it's really, really easy for them to do these kinds of things that are impossible to other people, right? And if you want to overcome procrastination, you can commit to small steps to making whatever it is that you want to achieve more and more your identity, and then transition to big steps. And as this becomes more you, you will achieve more, you will do more. So, like, just a quick example. When I wanted to be a coach for a long time, and I knew a lot of things and I read a lot. I had all this information running around in my head, but to actually go and to take a step to invest in becoming a coach, to get my certification, that was like, heaven for me. That was like a huge step towards becoming this thing that I want to be.
Yes. So you went from taking those small steps to taking big steps once it really became a part of your identity.
Yep.
I love that. Yeah, 100%. You see all these superstars out there, and it looks like what they're doing is something that you could never do, but it's because they've been doing it for a long time. They've been taking small steps, which led to big steps. And now those big steps have become just normalized to them. It's just become a thing of a part of their everyday routine. So it's, for them, it's normal. Like even when I host like trainings and meetings, people always come up and they're like, I couldn't do this. And it's like, well, yeah, I couldn't at a time too, but I started. I joined Toastmasters, which I think everybody should join Toastmasters. They're worldwide. And I got comfortable speaking in front of a room of people. And then I took courses on presenting. I took courses on public speaking. I joined clubs and organizations. And eventually what I couldn't do became a strength of mine. And I found that I really enjoyed it. So I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. And now it's a lot harder to procrastinate because I'm just really good at it. And just like you're really good at what you do. So it's you built up the muscle. And if you're brand new to something, you've got to start toning and building up that muscle because you just have to start. You don't have to wait till you're perfect. You don't have to wait till you know it all. You just have to begin with whatever it is you're looking to do. If it's an essay, write the first line. If it's a book, write the first 10 words. If it's working out, just get up, go outside, walk, maybe go to the gym. Like that could be step 10. But if you want to start there, that's fine. But remember, small steps lead to habits, which lead to big steps. Powerful stuff, Simon.
Thank you. Absolutely. You should expect to not be good at it in the beginning and be okay with it, but take the steps anyway, and you'll get you'll get good at it eventually. Just keep at it.
Absolutely. We could talk for hours, man, but
I know.
I'm sure you've got things to do. So let me ask you this. Where can those watching find you after this?
I have a Facebook group. It's called Discover Your Unstoppable Personal Growth Community. I post, I'm going to be posting a lot of really new content over there. Some of it is about this, about general personal growth in your career and your wealth relationships. So come find me over there on Facebook.
Awesome. And what I did, guys, is I put a link in the description below. So you can just click the link, you can join the group, and you can get a lot more insights and strategies from Simon himself on how you can overcome procrastination and everything else that he shares over there. Simon, it's been an absolute pleasure, my friend. Thanks for taking the time to come talk with us about what is procrastination, how can we overcome it, and how can we just become more unstoppable in general. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. It was a pleasure being here.